Oh, wait. You're... give me a moment. I don't think the audio is catching. My computer seems to have fucked everything. Give me a moment. Now try to talk.
Is my audio going
Yes,
through?
it's working now.
Okay.
Now it's working.
Great. Finally.
Fix the technical difficulties.
Welcome back. Both one of my like stylistically one of my favorite campaigns that we have on this channel right now, but also the one that gets fucked over the most because of scheduling conflicts. And yeah, welcome back to the Liars Club, to the world of darkness, to my little Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle that has had so many fucking problems lately. Last session, our interesting little crew found the fabled First Light bunker, got whatever they could carry, messed around with some interestingly placed levers and sensors and things of that nature, releasing tanks with bodies of some kind, before attempting to block off the exit elevator, things of that nature, try to keep whatever's in there contained. Afterwards, our little crew then had a hand at arms dealing, as well as meeting a very interesting scientist. At that point, due to some, let's just call them personal problems, the session was cut short, and scheduling conflicts made sure we could not really rectify that for a fairly long time. But now we're back. And I'm just going to try to jump right back into it, because last session I was just cut off mid-sentence. But no, so while still standing in this guy's workshop, in this just crazy place of just full-on ADHD inventor style stuff, as we remember, the large warehouse just lined with folding tables all scattered upon different inventions and testing equipment all jumbled together, half of it jury-rigged, half of it looking like it should have been taken from somewhere else. And the only real spot of somewhere where a person could live is just a normal person, being the upstairs loft that is just a cot and a fridge and a few of the other important amenities. As our scientist, the first thing that was being tested was the vials of silver liquid. And Tyler,
yes,
don't blame me because it was that long ago. Can you check the transcripts for when I said this guy's name?
it's gonna take me a moment, but yes,
That's fine. I can bullshit it until then. Thank you. But no, the first thing that was tested was those vials of silver liquid. He had put them in a machine that looked like it was jury-rigged and connected to about 4 different other things, and then all connected to a PC screen with a homemade UI. He's like, yeah, and he was just looking at one of the vials, just like, okay, so this stuff will be like super cool in a rave, but like, never mind, that would not be super cool in a rave. Okay, okay, so, I gotta test something. I'm gonna just, and he's kind of just pointing at the vial before he pulls a pocket knife out, clicks it open, and cuts open his own thumb. He takes a petri dish and puts it on, and before just squeezing out a little bit of that blood from his finger, and then opening up the vial and tipping out about a drop of this silver liquid, it dropping into the blood, and you just watch as this blood is slowly, just very slowly becomes discolored and becomes a kind of silvery hue. And he puts it under a microscope and he looks at it. She's like, okay, so I don't know why someone would make this, but this is just like heavy metal poisoning for no reason. Okay, so oh, this is wild. Okay, so whatever's in this, it reacts with like just blood plasma. So the whole thing about it, like blood plasma, liquid, it reacts with liquid mostly, but there's like flakes of silver or whatever all throughout this liquid. I mean, that's how it looks like this. It it starts coating the blood cells, like, and then that's just going through your system. That's heavy metal poisoning right there. That just kills someone. Yeah. How did you guys find this shit? Like, who makes something like this?
That's not any of your concern. I'm still looking for the
Okay. Cool. All right. Don't put this in your breakfast cereal. Yeah, it's just like that's gonna cause some problems. That bear mace. Well, it's obviously not
I think
bear
his name
mace,
was
but it's good.
Marcus. I think his name was Marcus, is what you
All
give
right.
him.
Thank you very much. Just like, okay, so that can of mace, whatever's supposed to be in that can of mace. Let's just see here. All right, I'm gonna empty out some of this to put in a test tube. He just sprays some of it into the bottom of a beaker, lets it kind of drain to the bottom until he can pour it into a test tube, and he runs it through one of the many machines kind of lined across his wall. Okay. I don't know why someone would need this, but this is an airborne coagulant. Like, maybe I shouldn't have breathed this in. Basically, like, don't breathe this stuff in unless the only way to save you will literally be rat poison. Like, this is how to, and he just grabs the same petri dish of the discolored blood, and he sprays this when he sprays this can, it sprays out a blood red mist. When he sprays the petri dish of the blood, you just see it like crystallizes. Like that's I'm pretty sure that's a war crime. I'm pretty sure that's a war crime. You have war crime shit.
All right. It wouldn't be the first time.
Okay. Yeah, spray bottle does that. Let's see. Those grenade looking things, those tear gas grenade looking things, they're the same thing. Yeah, they're just the same thing. They're pressurized, so it's better that I don't crack these open, but no, I can see it.
In this society, do we even adhere to the Geneva Convention?
Wait, I mean, like, technically, you don't adhere to the Geneva Convention when you're in war, but like, those were laws made because people in war were just being horrible. So I'm pretty sure it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
I'll take the spray can stuff back, and like I'll kind of like say, so it ain't a war crime.
No, it still is. It still is. Okay. No, the syringes. Yeah, the syringes. Whatever they have in them, and that little flashlight thing. He just like kind of clicks the He clicks the flashlight, and it's immediately a strobe light. But it's a purple strobe light, and he's kind of just pointing it at one of the walls. It's just like, oh, it's like there's a sun lamp. Like you just, I mean, you can't really use it to like grow your plants, but like if you want a tan, just hold this close to your face or something. Is that? I think that's a UV light bulb. Like what? He just kind of kills it. It's like I don't know why you have this with the war crime gas, but you have it.
Well, maybe they thought that UV light is why the sunburn's kindred up.
What the fuck's a kindred?
I'm gonna dart her a look like you're going too far.
You know, I'll ask that later. Okay, the syringes. Let's see the syringes. The syringes. They have. Oh. Okay. Very similar to that weird mist stuff. Similar kind of coagulant, except it's highly acidic. So a funny thing about a human body is that your blood is it's not a very specific pH level, but it's like there's a pH level it stays at so you don't die. That's you actually when you asphyxiate, when you like choke to death, when you don't get oxygen, like you're not actually like you don't die from the lack of air first. You die from the imbalance in pH. Your blood just I don't remember if it gets more acidic or more basic. I'm pretty sure it's acidic. This stuff is extremely basic. What that's going to do to your heart is not good. It's not going to effectively make it explode, but it's like it's bad. It's really bad. You're probably going to feel like you're suffocating. It's not going to feel good. Your body is going to be it's just going to be screaming like you're just going to be in pain. And then the war crime thing is going to happen where it crystallizes your fucking blood. So yeah, that is. I've made some worrying shit in my life, but this is weird.
Well,
Looks like we made quite a find.
it could be fun.
Just know how to use this stuff.
I
Don't point it
really
at your
thought the
face.
murderous sex bot was gonna be the weirdest thing I've seen in my life, but then you people show up out of nowhere. Jesus, yeah. I am going to have to kindly ask you to leave. Cause that shit is terrifying. And like I regularly breathe like powderized radioactive elements, but like that shit would make my lungs stop being lungs on a cellular level. So take your shit and go, please.
Fair enough. Thanks for explaining what all this stuff does. Good luck with the sex bot and
I mean, like, you just order something from Real Doll, so that's not the part I have to worry about. I have to worry about the arm and the choking someone to death. It's God, the things you'll do for a lot of money, okay? It's a lot of money, okay? Don't.
Well, as long as you don't speak of this to anyone, we won't be back.
Man, I don't think they'd believe me anyway. Wait, what about that kindred? What the fuck is a kindred? That's what I was gonna ask.
It's some things she's been calling a group of people we've been dealing with.
Right, sweet. You okay?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay. Well,
Just not a fan of Tans is all.
uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, all right. Um, cool. Don't take that silver stuff to a rave. You're gonna kill somebody.
I'm sure
A guy
Catherine uses
making a
something.
murderous sex bot, you sure do seem a little squeamish about the applications of this material.
I don't like the idea of look, I like raves as much as the next person, all right? That stuff looks great to take to a rave, but then it's literally just straight heavy metal poisoning. Like the murder bot, again, we all got to make a living, all right? That shit doesn't outright kill a normal person. That shit makes them suffer until their body says, I can't be alive anymore.
Well, luckily, we'll be using it on people who aren't typical.
There's so much easier ways of killing somebody.
But what fun would that be?
Sometimes it has to be outlandishly cruel. You know? Some people are heinous enough to deserve that.
I thought I was just, you know what? Okay, I'm not being paid to care that much. Huh. I'm I need another bump. Have a nice day, people. And he just starts setting up like a couple of rails of coke on one of the desks.
Have fun with your autoerotic asphyxiation bot.
That is a good use for it. Maybe I could resell it for that. Shit.
Please don't give him ideas.
I'd have to like lower the grip strength though.
I'd be surprised if I see you in the hibituary.
I mean, I already have it written down if you want a copy.
I'll pass.
Oh, yeah.
I guess we'll just get back in the van, because I remember we had a van.
Yeah, pickup truck.
That's the only thing I remember from this, is we were getting
Yeah,
shit tested. We had
So
a
what
van.
we learned is that the first light bunker contains stuff that kills kindred. I mean, I'm not really surprised about that.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
and werewolves.
Yeah, now you guys just
Silver
have
does.
now you guys have like
I
know
assume the
what
metal
the
poisoning
application
shit
of
is
the
like
gear is.
silver poisoning, right?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
silver's considered. I'm pretty sure when it comes to when it gets in your system, silver's considered heavy metal, so it's a heavy metal
Yeah,
poisoning.
I think most metals are that way.
Yeah, I don't think there is light metal poisoning. I just don't know why it's specified as heavy metal poisoning.
Sounds cooler.
Fair.
It's because it's a hard way to go.
I mean, yeah, you fucking kidney. It's either the liver or the kidneys that go out first, and as soon as you have to say that, you know it's a bad fucking day.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have the syringe. How many of the syringes did we have? Because I don't even remember. It was like
3.
3 or 4. Yeah. So we had 3 syringes, 3 vial of metal, and I got napalm tip bullets, is what I remember.
Yeah, incendiary rounds.
Good shit.
The cleaner has a fucking stake crossbow.
Yep, I remember he got that from
Yeah.
the guy I slaughtered. Oh no, he got the revolver from him, or not the revolver, the pistol. We got
Often
we've got fun tools. I forgot.
you have Logan's here. Do you think he'd be interested in this equipment?
No.
I mean, it is pretty metal. Sounds like something someone in his line of work might appreciate having.
He has his own things that he's playing with. And he'd rather us not bother him with this.
Fair enough.
So, we'll find a use for all of this. It's just a matter of time.
Tom, you get a phone call from the flip phone.
Checking who it is.
Logan.
Flipping the phone.
Speak of the devil.
Hey, did you rob an army surplus store and like 3 gun stores in the last 4 hours?
No.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, that's that I just had to find out if that was you guys or not.
We sold a lot of guns and other things, but
Yeah, I knew about that. I mean, I set that shit up for you. No, yeah, if you guys weren't the ones who raided a couple gun stores in the fucking Chicago area,
oh shit.
just set up just get to the fucking, yeah, just get back to your hotels. I'll send you guys your plane tickets and you'll be on your way to fucking Saigon.
I'm gonna slowly turn to Millie, showing the first like I don't know how much emotion I've shown so far, but like show like actually like an oh shit kind of face, and just be like, yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah. So yeah, because I was just hearing some, like, one of my people, one of those gun stores was it was this old guy, it was this guy I knew. He runs some interesting stuff in from Canada, because I mean, well, not from Canada, but through Canada. So and like he got his head ripped off. So if it wasn't, it's like, it's not like I told you about him, so I wouldn't be too mad if you guys were the ones who did it, because I mean, he would rather fucking die than lay by steal shit. But no, like, yeah, no, he got his head ripped off. So I'm just checking my bases, because I haven't heard any chatter from the Camarilla. The Anarchs in the area, something's pretty sure some wolves are fucking with them. I heard some chatter from their end when I started looking in. They're getting massacred by something or someone. It's probably the werewolves. I mean, those guys are always trying to push onto the tree line. So yeah, no, just get your plane tickets. Be in Saigon in like matter of 2 days maybe.
When will the tickets be in?
Oh yeah, they should be in tomorrow morning. I'll have them walked up to you. Paper tickets, all that fun stuff. Now, only boring part about flip phones, you can't save them on your phone.
Yes.
So yeah, no, if you guys aren't the ones who did that shit, don't worry about it. It's a fucking cop issue or something. It's not our fucking problem.
Well, thanks for the heads up.
You're not planning on leading an armed rebellion in that city, right?
I didn't have a thought of it, no.
Okay, so yeah, no, yeah, obviously it's not you or anyone you know then, so yeah, no, just like no reason for, yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, okay, yeah, just get ready for your fucking plane tickets and fly out there as soon as you can.
Will do. I'm gonna hang up the phone. Not gonna say
Yeah,
bye. Just hanging up the phone. Turn
Yeah.
to Millie and be like, we're going to need to reinforce the room.
What the head honchos say?
There was a robbery of multiple gun stores recently. I think I know who did it.
And who would that be?
The men from the pod that we opened.
The weird zombie things?
Yes. And I'm afraid that they might be coming for us next.
Oh, that's shitty. Anything else?
Tickets come in the morning, and then we can leave in.
Tickets to where?
I forgot the name of the place we're going.
Saigon.
Saigon.
Good old
yes,
Vietnam.
Yeah. Saigon. We're going to Nam.
So how are we going to move all our shit through customs?
We have.
I don't know about you, but I don't think I could manage to hide some war crime capable experimental weaponry from the TSA.
We have a way.
Okay.
There's connections to get through.
All right.
I mean, wait, if these things are intelligent, then I can't really see them storming a hotel just to get our heads, right? I mean, if they're intelligent enough to raid a gun store, I doubt they'd go storming a hotel in not broad daylight, but you get what I mean.
I wouldn't put it against someone who just woke up to do such a thing. We need to be ready.
I mean, you could just ask Logan to drop off those tickets somewhere else.
I don't want him to get suspicious of what we did.
What you did? I didn't pull no lever.
You guys are guilty by association. This is all of our faults. Not just mine.
Whatever.
He will never find out about this. Not from one of you. If he does, I'll have your head.
Fair enough.
And I'm going to sit in silence and keep driving.
All right. Once you guys get back to the hotel, you see someone like standing in front of a silver Acura, and they're just trying to wave you down. Silver four-door Acura, I think that exists. I don't know. I just bullshitted that. And they're just trying to wave you down when you start walking up to the front of the hotel after parking that pickup.
We approach.
Hey, look, so we don't have the tickets just yet. We'll get those in tomorrow night, but well, we had to book you guys a public flight, so I'm here to pick up whatever you guys want to say hi to when you land over there.
This is going to complicate things a little bit.
I'll whisper to Tom, what's disposable? As in, like, what do we not want to part with in case we do get jumped? Even if that means we can't bring it with us.
If you have any simple pistols, those would probably be fine. And I'm just gonna take the guns that I'm carrying on me, which is the 4 that I have. Actually, no, they would be in the room still, because I left 2 of them in the room.
I'm gonna check my war crime guns.
So the flamethrower, yeah.
I'll tell him, just come with us to the room, and then we'll give him what we need to give him.
All right, yeah, because because it's such short notice, we can't set up any private charter stuff. And the security at the place you guys are going to, it's lax enough. You should be able to walk through, but it's just you're not really gonna get a rifle through there or nothing. So you gotta be clean when you show up for the flight. So that's what anything you want to see when you're over there, you gotta pack it up there.
Yes, of course. I'm going to, when we get back to the room, we're going to take the duffel bag that was already full of guns. And I'm going to put all of my guns in there, as well as the the vial, the syringe, and the bullets. I'm just putting everything that I have into that bag that is like weapon wise.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I'm gonna put everything in there except for the flamethrower because
Is it not made of metal?
No, it is. It is.
I mean I'm just not. I mean, if it's just a flamethrower, then it's something I can replace.
Yeah, it's
And if we,
no, because it's like it's around the size of a pistol with a canister kind of set up
I mean,
in the
it is just a flamethrower, right? Though.
yeah, basically, but still, it's just.
I know. I mean,
it's
I'm gonna keep
compact.
it just in case.
Yeah.
If you were to take the can off it, it wouldn't be a weapon considered.
Yeah.
So like it would just be something.
I mean, if we are
going
to be mobbed by a group of zombies without most of our weapons, I think having the flamethrower on our person would be better than like a gun she's not very skilled with.
All right.
I'll give up everything but the flamethrower.
All right.
Just something I can break down anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
The others would probably end up doing something similar. I don't know what they would do.
All right. I'll just register them as shoving their stuff in their packs, shoving their stuff in one of the duffels or anything like that. She's like, all right, so yeah, tomorrow night you'll get tickets will be slipped under the door. You'll see all of this gear. I think Barry's working out in Saigon right now, so Barry will. Barry, he uses this fucking weird ass blue taxi. He'll find you guys. I mean, like, it's don't worry about it. But no, there'll be somebody outside the airport to give you your stuff. So just yeah. Let me take care of this. And he just kind of starts walking out.
Just kind of give him a nod and close the door behind him.
When you said, let's reinforce the room, how exactly do you plan on reinforcing a hotel room with what we have in here?
Tom is going to casually grab one of the beds and just move it in front of the door.
Inelegant, but effective. I'll help.
He's just putting the one bed in front of the door, and he's just going to sit on the end of it.
I mean, this is Tom we're talking about. It's not like it'd be difficult for him.
No, it's like him picking up like an office chair.
Yeah, this ain't shit. Like, I'm not even gonna make you roll for it, man.
But he's just gonna move it in front of the door, and then he's gonna sit on the edge of the bed. And just that's where he's just positioning himself for the time.
All right. So, yeah, you guys have like the rest of the night. I mean, you guys have been out for a while, so it's not like the rest of the night is like 5 hours, but it's more like you guys have like 3 hours left in the night.
I'm probably just gonna rest.
Tom is simply just going to sit there and drink.
Yeah.
Because he still does have his alcohol. He's got to drink it before the flight.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a shower and then, get ready for bed.
Does Tom, when Tom like is just sitting around and drinking, is it stereotypical like drunk in a TV show style where it's like it's in front of the TV and whatever's playing is just playing? He's just more worried about drinking than he is whatever's on, right?
He would have the TV on probably as something in the like kind of give the idea that the room is occupied and there's just someone in there like with the TV on, but he's mainly sitting there drinking and listening to the outside the door.
All right.
He's listening for anyone coming.
All right. You know what? If that's what you're focusing on, then I think I would like from Tom a quick wits plus awareness roll.
It's an awareness. I upgraded my awareness because of this situation. All successes, so 5 successes. I rolled all 6s. What the fuck? Oh no, those are 6s and 9s. A lot of 69s. All right.
All right.
Nice.
You like while you're listening outside the door, you hear from like coming from the TV, like a breaking news report stopping whatever's been playing. Like you see that's probably one of these things that's just like it's covering all local satellite band, well, no, like local antenna bands or whatever, but it's just like it's a news report with some live footage behind the broadcaster. It's just uh Chicago City Police has set up a curfew for the next week as there seems to be a rampant amount of violence within the streets on the what's the I can't remember outside which direction, but it's just outside on the streets at the edges of the city. This violence has been not predicted due to any criminal statistics as to date within the city. Whatever's happening is highly abnormal and is beginning to look more and more like a extremely dangerous situation. All citizens outside or on the street are expected to get within their homes or find any nearest shelter. The footage being shown behind this news broadcaster is live helicopter footage of what looks like like gang violence cranked up to 50, because it's like it's not like, oh, this isn't a drive-by, this isn't like a group of people got into a really bad disagreement and now there's pistols being pulled. This is full on urban warfare with two different groups fighting with fully automatic weapons and pistols and shotguns. This is happening it looks like it's in some kind of like area populated mostly with low rent apartment complexing, and it's very close. It looks like it's probably close to the edge of town, maybe closer to like the roads you have to take to get closer to the woods.
So the opposite side of town of where we were, because I remember we had to drive across town to get there.
Yeah.
So probably not our zombos.
No, definitely our zombos, because we had to go across town to get to the woods to get to the bunker, and they're in the direction of where the bunker is.
Use like the news reporter isn't like, what they're saying is like they keep just repeating like information that the police are releasing, mostly just warnings about staying inside, getting to cover, things of that nature, especially if you're in the area. However, Tom, watching that footage, what's better on your mental side, intelligence or wits?
They're the same.
Okay, so give me a wits plus firearms.
Wits plus firearms? That's slightly lower than my wits plus awareness. Let's see here. Okay, it started bad, got better. 3 successes.
Okay. Looking at this like live feed, you're seeing that whoever is like coming from the outskirts of the area, they are geared in like, they're not walking around in like official kind of gear, but they're moving with like not just old weapons. Like, I mean, you spot like a Tommy gun in there and stuff like that. But I mean, especially people who are just looking for something that shoots lead, like you don't really get picky with what you have. But it's a lot less uniform than the others. Like the people who are obviously at a disadvantage in this conflict, they seem to have a lot of just like pistols, a lot of small arms, while these guys who just, they are sprinting through streets, they are moving with a very recognizable like cover to cover urban combat training stuff. Like they're moving in the same way that you were trained to move, that you were trained to clear city streets.
World War II era soldiers running about, it seems like.
Were they all Captain America in that bunker?
And along with that, and this is why I had you specify a firearms role, like they're using like they're using like maybe not combat weapons considered, because you're seeing like hunting rifles and like hunting shotguns, as well as full on just like tactical shotgun gear and stuff. But it's like, even though it looks a lot more like patchwork with this other group of these people who obviously seem more trained, they're handling this gear a lot better than these guys out on the street. I mean, these guys out on the street, these ones who are just plainly getting massacred, they look like they probably just got out of their homes with a fucking pistol or a shotgun that they used to cover their front door to try to stop these psychos. But like, these guys, they are cover to cover, leapfrogging, they are pushing through these streets, and you even see like they are not massacring everyone they see. They are only firing on armed combatants. Anyone who is surrendering is being left to run. But every once in a while you catch somebody who's like running away or trying to flank them. Because of this helicopter footage, you're able to see adjacent alleyways and things, or like other streets when they pull up far enough, and you start seeing some telltale signs of non-human athleticism every once in a while, but not enough to draw anyone's attention if they're not paying enough attention or know what to look for. Even when they're unarmed, you see that this like basically this military team is executing them on sight.
Yeah, my suspicions were correct.
Well, if it isn't the consequences of our own actions.
The
Be the case.
news reporter begins talking about how the Chicago police are in full mobilization to deal with the situation, and how the National Guard is being contacted for help with this. Because as like the next like 2 hours go by with this footage just going, by now like if you wanted to keep watching, you'd have to switch to the news channel itself, as the emergency broadcast was just like, be careful, this stuff is happening, this is bad.
Were the hours of the curfew given?
Yeah, the hours of the curfew were given. It's just sun up to sundown. Like,
So does that make it kind of difficult for those tickets to be delivered to us?
They're delivering it to before sundown is the plan.
Yeah, you don't know. But yeah, basically sundown, stay in your homes is what the curfew is. And like, looking at this footage, you're seeing like police cars and stuff, like first response police, like showing up and either being gunned down in the street, or these like extremely athletic fighters closing the distance and just like taking these guys down, disarming them, and leaving them. But most of the time, as you watch this footage, if someone is armed, they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
This is not something Tom is used to seeing in this context, because usually maybe he's on one end of this kind of conflict, but also he's usually in it, and he's usually in some way affiliated with it in an official capacity.
Yeah.
This is different. You are just a bystander watching a massacre. And not only that, even though you know what the city and what the state and what the government can do about this, you also know that this isn't about the normal people who are being affected. You are just seeing you're seeing soldiers whose prime directive, whose like secondary objective is to take out anybody showing aggressive action. Like, you know for a fact, as soon as you see every single person fighting back or every single civilian that's being slaughtered, that they're not the main target. You're able to see this just because of your background, because of your work.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not used to seeing this in this context because it's just so fucking efficient. you're not watching men, you're watching machines. Like, you yourself are an organic creature. At a certain point, you get tired. Not as easily as a human, not as easily as a vampire, but at a certain point, you have to slow down. You got to eat something. You got to drink water.
Yeah.
For all you know, these guys have been going 100% since you got out of the bunker. So for all you know, these guys have been going 100% for 2 days straight. And now you're seeing, after 2 days of whatever they've been doing, getting out of werewolf controlled woods with no weapons except whatever they probably could have scrounged from the base. So maybe not unarmed, but not exactly in the best situation. And then they are giving an entire city of people a reason to be terrified more than the normal. There is gang violence here because that exists. And not only that, you're seeing, like, because you've been on peacekeeping missions before, especially when Russia had to pull out of World War II because of internal conflicts, when you were pulled from when you were pulled from frontline work to act as a supplement to military police. Killing people in the streets is not exactly new to you. I mean, when Stalin showed up, that was just normal. But these guys, without any knowledge of what's happening in their heads, without any knowledge of what's going on their end, you are just seeing them almost robotically just, oh, someone fired a shot at them. 3 of them fire shots back, confirmed kill. Oh, this person's close enough that you can non-lethally subdue them. 3 of them drop them with the butts of rifles and shotguns. Unarm them, and then use their own weapons against the people around them. Oh, you see someone who 50% chance, kindred trying to cover their territory, immediately dead. No one even blinking, and all you can really focus on is just the tops of people's heads as they're either running away or surrendering or fighting or driving away or just being killed. And with the information you and your group have gathered while in the city, you know that if they keep on whatever warpath this is, there's a chance that they could start, like, cleaning out Camarilla buildings. Like, where they are right now is probably where a lot of kindred have their hunting grounds, where a lot of anarchs have their hunting grounds. But it's not like you're going to find groups of them standing around on the street.
I think it's kind of above our pay grade to try stopping these World War II era zombie dudes. Let's say maybe we stay out of this one.
I would have to agree with you. But this isn't going to stop anytime soon.
Well, maybe we'll make that ongoing conflict between the Camarilla werewolves and the Anarchs. Well, maybe we'll make them realize that they should probably set aside their differences and fight the World War II era super soldier dudes that we inadvertently released from the First Light bunker.
I don't think they'll make it that long.
The zombies or the
Camarian.
I win some, you lose some.
Curious what happened to the werewolves within the territory of the bunker. Because I don't think those individuals got out of that bunker without a fight. I think Tom would be lost for words by this point. I think he would just be drinking as he's thinking very heavily on what to do.
Well, I'm gonna hit the hay, get some rest. You do whatever you do. Yeah.
Kind of gives a very hollow nod. Not necessarily listening to anything you said, but like just acknowledging that you said something.
As the night ends and the day passes, does Tom wake up during the day for any reasons?
I think he would be waking up periodically throughout the day to check what is going on to see if this is continuing through the day.
All right. At a certain point during the day when Tom wakes up, like he probably open up the news as well because there's so much you can see out the window. You start seeing that these guys at some point in the night sped up. Like they stopped the like sweep and clear tactics and started doing almost a search and destroy maneuver. Because you start checking out some of the older footage and you just see like at a certain point in the night they stopped clearing streets in such a bloodthirsty manner. For you, it's just like they probably realize that they can't do it as efficiently if they do that. Like they went through like last night in the 2 hours they got through like 2 blocks maybe. And the real problem was like a lot of police presence started showing up in that area. It slowed them down a lot. At a certain point during the night, the news helicopter that was showing them, and the police helicopters that kept spotlights on them to alert the local law enforcement, would lose them. They started dispersing. They started running into buildings. They started running under overpasses, things of that nature. And while not completely disappearing throughout the night, by the day, instead of this death march down a main road, it started turning into this deadly game of hide and seek. And you started seeing but during the day there was a lot less activity. During the day there were even points where like the local news could go back to just being the local news and not crime watch for these like absolute psychos. The police were on complete mobilization because they were still out there. And then at about like 3 p.m., all the reports changed to the firebombing of the penthouse of a real estate mogul's building.
The one we
And
visited.
yeah. After that, when you would periodically check, there were no more reports of violence of this nature. However, the police were still on full mobilization, and there was no statements of whether the perpetrators were identified or found. There was even a statement of the camera footage at that said building being destroyed.
This is off topic of what you just described. Would I know a way of completely blocking the sun off someone if let's say a vampire needed to move during like sunset?
A kindred, because it's difficult for a kindred to be awake during the day. It's not impossible, it's just difficult. It's kind of like when you wake up too early in the morning. The problem is that you can, like umbrella, heavy clothing, things of that nature can slightly protect them. It can slow the effect of the sun depending on how much obscurement you have. You can't just put on a long sleeve and hold an umbrella over your head, because casting the shadow will protect someone for a little bit, but you can't like stay out in the day. You can black out the windows of a car and maybe that'll work better, but especially if you're just standing outside, like if you're standing outside by yourself and you're trying to like huddle under a blanket, at a certain point it starts affecting them.
The back of the van is like unwindowed, right? Like all the windows are not
No,
there.
because it's a pickup truck. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We had a pickup
Yeah.
truck. Shit. All right. I wanted to try to get us moving before the sunset, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Or if it's going to happen comfortably. What about the Camaro? How many people can fit in the Camaro?
I mean, it's a 2-person vehicle. Problem is, it's like there's no tinting or anything like that. I mean, like worst comes to worst, yeah, trunk's gonna cover someone pretty well.
But how many people can fit in the trunk?
Probably 1, or if you get really aggressive about it, 2.
It's a rough situation.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I know I can get out
obviously-
of this. I can get out of this easily. It's the others that have the issue.
Yeah, and we're supposed to be waiting here for tickets and that kind of stuff. I think.
Yeah, like actually, like at around 5, because if Tom is just periodically waking up, like he would see that the tickets, like maybe an hour before or something, were pushed under the door a while ago.
Okay,
But
so I would collect those. The pickup.
Yeah.
I thought the pickup truck had like a roof over the back of it. Or was it just
No, I think you guys like put a tarp over all the gear, which is why you were able to kind of drive it around.
And the pickup truck would only be a 2-seater as well. No, it would be a 3-seater because everyone was in there.
No, it would have been like a 4. It was a
4,
big pickup truck, but yeah, it still just has a bed in the back.
Do we still have that tarp? Because a tarp would be able to block out the sun.
Yeah, you still got that tarp. The thing is like stuff like that is only gonna work for so long, like because when you hold a blanket up to the sun, like it still passes through.
Yeah. Okay.
There is no like 100% safe way.
Here's what
Yeah,
Tom's gonna do.
unless you got a hard like the trunk of a car is kind of like a hard thing that would be able to stop it completely. But
Tom's gonna like do the math in his head on like how he could go about this. And he's probably gonna go out and he's gonna get the Camaro. I don't think the truck is gonna be a good idea. He's gonna get the Camaro though, because I think, if I'm thinking correctly, Millie and probably who's the one that has Hugh? I can't remember their name now. Ryan. So Millie and Ryan could probably fit in the trunk of it with a bit of effort. And then Theodore, he's just going to throw all the luggage and shit on top of, and just have him lay on the floorboard as best he can with the tarp over him and the luggage. And that's his plan.
Okay. Now, what happens when you get to your destination?
Oh, we abandon the car. And then it's going to be dark by the time we get there.
Okay.
So
that's how you're trying to time it.
Yeah,
Okay.
the plan is trying to time it so that we get out of town before the curfew begins. And we get to the airport when it's still dark.
All right. Okay. Well, actually, the thing is, Tom would be able to know. Well, yeah, the news would probably say something about that. Like, because of the not complete disappearance of these aggressors within the city, but like their dispersal, their like the difficulty of trying to find them for some reason. I mean, there were so many of them. It's crazy how they could disappear so easily. the local police have to set up search grids and stuff like that, and that includes monitoring the ways out of the city and doing traffic stops.
Well, that changes plans.
Yeah, so yeah, if we get
because of
stopped, we die.
because of the nature, because like usually at those kind of stops, especially like when you see it on TV, like they already have like a picture or something of the person they're looking for. They don't know the faces of the people who did this, but they did a lot of, like, they did something big enough that this is going to be like a day of remembrance and memorial, because that was a lot of, that was domestic terrorism. Like,
Yeah.
something of that nature would be classified as domestic terrorism. So like the police are in full force. The National Guard is like probably, like, the local National Guard at least is probably attempting to mobilize to help with this search gridding. But that also includes, it's not just random traffic stops. They're going to stop everyone and then check cars, because if you don't know who they are, you have to start checking for evidence of, do these individuals have the same kind of gear that the people who are doing this did? Are these people trying to smuggle something or someone out of here? So it's just a general look at incriminating gear in the hopes of finding who they're looking for, because they don't know who they're looking for.
All right, then we will wait till sunset, and we'll just all get in the truck with our gear, because we don't really have anything incriminating anymore except for like a few basic weapons that mean nothing if you disassemble them.
Yeah, it's probably the safest option.
So yeah, I think his plan would have been originally, we're going to smuggle them out of here, and then when he found that out, he was like, you know what? Let's take the risk and try to go out during curfew.
All right. So, I mean, because getting outside of, it's not like it's not like there's police officers standing outside anyone's door. So it's like getting outside of the hotel room as when it's sundown is not that difficult. Getting to your car is not that difficult. The garage is close by. It's not even a block away.
Well, if there's not going to be as many people in the streets tonight anyway, even if there is like police cars on the streets and that kind of stuff, we might be able to easily drive out of there.
Yeah.
Whoever has the driving set, I think it was Millie.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, you need to be driving just in case we need to make a getaway.
Yeah.
Problem officer.
Let's see here. So, driving through, like, there's a lot of police patrols going through the city right now as you guys are driving through to get to a highway exit. And like, you guys may have had one or two close calls with police going through areas with these patrols, but it's like, it's dark out. There's like, you're not in the main area of either of the two incidents. You can't, like, so the patrols, while active, are not exactly looking in your specific area. You're able to get out to the edge of the city after like a fair amount of stop and go driving, just to make sure you don't like run into any patrols. Now, your next problem is going to be the checkpoints, because due to the curfew, these checkpoints are most likely going to stop you and ask, and like have a lot more to inquire about, because you're trying to leave during curfew. You're trying to leave under the cover of darkness.
Well, we have a flight to catch. We have tickets. They were purchased before the institution of the curfew.
Yeah. So it's like pulling into that checkpoint, you're stopped by National Guard. This is a National Guard checkpoint because the police can't be expected to hold every road out of here. and this is a main road out, so the National Guard has been set up for here instead, in case of a show like when they initially showed up on the streets. So you are stopped by like people dressed in army combat gear. Like, they motion for your window to be rolled down, and they just ask like, it's I'm very sorry. It's curfew right now. You should be in your homes, off the streets. What's
Oh, we have a flight for tonight. I'll hand over the tickets to him. As you can see, they were purchased before the curfew was instituted.
We're not from
And
here.
yeah, we were just staying in a hotel here when this whole thing happened. We don't have family in the area.
Give me a charisma plus persuasion.
Can I add anything to him for helping or no?
Yeah, give like a +1 because
Cool. It was a simple line. I didn't expect much else. I just wanted to
Charm's
see if
not
I could give him something.
Any difficulty?
the most. Just roll for it. Give me the successes.
Okay, then put hunger in there, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's gonna get hungry.
Okay. 5 successes.
Okay. It's like, okay, look, we're gonna search your vehicle, and if you're clear, we'll let you through. All right, we can't just we really have more important shit to do than just sending one random car back. So just check your car. If everything's clear, like, give us IDs. Yeah. So IDs,
Okay.
photo ID. We're checking your car. If everything checks out, go ahead. Let me see those plane tickets.
Hand them over. I'll hand over my ID.
All right. Okay. What about you, big guy?
Just quietly pulls out the ID and shows it to him.
Yeah, okay. All right. We're going to check your car, so just step out of the vehicle, stand next to it. We'll have some... We're going to get the dogs out here. And, like,
dogs.
yeah, like, you guys, like, get out of the car. It's like, it takes a couple of minutes. Like, about 4 guys move over, start checking out the car. One of them brings out, like, a German Shepherd in like the little dog vest uniform and stuff, and has it sniffing around. One of them grabs one of those mirrors on the stick and checks the undercarriage of the car.
Yep, standard checkpoint things when you're in a war zone.
And once they're all done, they just, like, it's just like, all right, get the hell out of here. Don't come back in. We're not going to let you back in. All right, just go.
Thank you. Stay safe.
All right, yeah. Just stay safe. Glad nothing happened to you while you were here. Just going out.
Just kind of give him a nod as I get back in the car.
Yeah, it's just like, because, like, even though it's curfew, it's still just like, if you're obviously not the people they're looking for, there's no reason for them to waste their time on something that is not the absolute psychopaths who caused a massacre. So it's a pretty good cover as long as you don't cause any, unwanted attention.
And we stripped ourselves of all of our weapons, so we're even better off.
Yeah.
That ended up working out, huh? We didn't even know there was a curfew coming when we did that.
And with that, you guys are able to drive the, like, hour to the specified place, to the specified words, where are the words? Airport. There we go. I
was
know
gonna
what
say plane station.
Plane station. Yeah.
All right, and the train port, that'd be the real port, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So, like, yeah, you getting to the because it's definitely a smaller airport. It's not a major airport, and like I mean, yeah, it's kind of just how it has to go. And like I mean, yeah, you got your tickets, you got ID, you got everything you need. It is not that difficult to just check in, check whatever you still have on you. Just get on a fucking plane.
And we're off.
Yeah. Well, it's like as soon as you get out of the city, it stops getting really difficult. It's just like,
No, I've never been outside the country before.
uh,
Well, I've been up to Canada, but it's not the same as like going to Saigon.
that's fair, yeah.
Oh, are you saying that
And
in character or in person?
No, in character.
In character, okay. Tom would just say, Vietnam is a enjoyable place. I had a lot of fun there while I was there.
When were you there?
When was Vietnam again? When was
I
the
mean,
war?
it was the 70s.
No, that's what he's saying. He's saying, when was the war? He's like thinking to himself.
I'm not sure I'm into that kind of fun.
Well, it's bound to be what we're going to run into.
You ever been to Saigon?
Once.
What's it like?
Nothing like here.
It's good.
You just kind of see on his face, there's like a relative, like, I would say almost a bliss to the flashbacks he's having of his time there. As well as a little bit of like that cold PTS stare. Like there's a mix. There's a bliss and there's also like the slight like trauma of it, even though he doesn't really get affected by the trauma all that much.
All right.
Yeah, what you're saying about telling Logan that we didn't have any part in that we didn't investigate any bunkers or anything. I think I really see the wisdom in that now.
We don't tell him what we did in that bunker. Just that we found some things.
Yes,
He doesn't need to know that Chicago has fallen to shit because of us.
I mean, it had already fallen to shit before we arrived. It's just slightly shittier.
I wasn't going to say it, but yes.
All right. Well, with that, let's just like, because after the plane ride, about a full day's plane ride, so it's dark when you guys land, and like getting out of the front, getting out of the airport, you see the blue taxi and just some guy like kind of just like with a little, like just with a just with like a like a blank whiteboard and just like a kind of like a weird little, like just like a really angrily drawn question mark, like that wasn't supposed to be there, but they I don't know, they just kind of ad-libbed it, and then they're just kind of waving at you as they hold in the other hand a little like picture.
I assume that's our man. And I will approach.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, you're the contractors?
That would be us, yes.
Ah, all right, great. Yeah, the he just like takes the keys to this car. She's like, okay, so all your shit's in the trunk. Taxi's yours. I just want to go home. Bye. And he walks into the airport.
Uber truly has transformed the taxi industry.
I'm gonna check the trunk. I'm gonna make sure all of our shit's back there.
2 duffel bags, one with gear, one with cleaning supplies.
I'm gonna who that's for.
I'm gonna pull the 1911 from it and pocket it, and then I'm going to close the trunk, just to have it on my person.
Hey, big guy, we have an address Just be taking this heat.
Yeah. Getting into the car, you see that it has like a GPS that's been like installed after the fact, and it already has like the address to a hotel in Saigon.
Well, that's convenient.
All right, let us go.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst drive. It's not that easy because
What side of the road do they drive on?
Left, right,
Hmm.
left side. Basically left side, like the rest of the world. I'm gonna look this up. Actually, this may be one of those places that you drive wherever you can fit.
Yeah, because like there's a fair amount of I'm pretty sure like yeah, that like general area of the world is where you get like the really crazy looking driving. So I don't know if that sphere of influence
It's the right side
reaches
of the road in Vietnam.
All right. Yeah, I just don't know if that sphere of influence from like India drivers reach all the way out to
That
Vietnam.
general area of the world in Africa have some pretty like interesting driving styles. I'm just gonna put that out there. Based on what I've seen, they have. It is not very civilized sometimes how they drive on those roads.
It's not exactly easy to determine as orderly.
Yes,
Is the I think is the clearest way to put it. So not the easiest drive, not the worst drive in the world, but like it's just you've been driving in the States for a bit, so it's a bit different. Finally getting to this, it's not a fancy hotel. This is livable. It's a livable place, but it's definitely not any like Marriott. It's just like yeah, some dude like bought a rundown building and put the least amount of money possible to make it somewhere where you can live in.
it's one step higher than Shack.
Yeah.
They were staying in the height of luxury.
It's not one step higher than a shack, but it's like you're not.
Oh God, Theodore's gonna lose his shit.
You shouldn't be surprised if like a fucking rat invites itself into the spot, because like the only reason they're not there already is probably because people are living in there.
Yeah.
You ever see Miss Saigon, Tom? Oh, that's a good musical.
No, I can't say that I have.
It's about the effects of the Vietnam War, and I love theater. Back in Seattle, kind of organizations run out of theater, so
Never been much for it.
it's nice. It's not for everyone, but I enjoy it. Place is a lot uglier than in the musical.
I will say that you all probably will have. Well, we could call it room service.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because the only like it doesn't look like there's a lot of workers in this place, but you do well like when you're brought in, it's just the owner. It's just like
I'm mentioning rats. Like they'll find rats and they can just eat those in the morning whenever they wake up.
But no, it's because like
Rats,
the owner's definitely the kind of guy who's always trying to upsell whatever they can. So like when they bring you to the room, they're probably bragging about like I personally bring like stuff from the grocery store across the street if you pay for it. And it's like I'll bring it to you, and it's like best room service you can get around here. It's just like yeah, worth the money, and just that kind of shit.
Why does it feel like I'm in Central America? I've heard this kind of speech from people before. No, that's funny.
Hopefully, while we're here, we'll be able to visit the prettier parts of the city.
I guess yeah, just kind of like go through the whole process of the guy like ranting about like superior room service and whatnot. Just wait for him to leave.
Yeah. Then you guys are finally just kind of set up in this room. I mean, it's not the nicest place ever, but you know, cheaper the place, easier it is to check for any kind of espionage style gear. In the taxi, in the glove box of the taxi, you did find a like a manila folder with a dossier.
Mm.
So finally, like having a time to yourselves, you're able to kind of crack that open.
So
And
what does
this
the dossier have?
yeah, it's about the guy you're supposed to be finding in, well, the jungles of Vietnam.
My
Like, so there
favorite
is,
place in Vietnam.
yeah, there is just a note. There is a handwritten note about like, sorry about the hotel, but it's better than the rest of the shit you're gonna have during this trip. As you see, on the back of that note is a shopping list. Like, it is literally just labeled shopping list, and the only thing put on there is camping gear.
Well,
Hey Tom, I've never gone camping before,
well,
let alone been to a jungle.
it should be fun. And
So
you all
yeah,
will probably be staying in a nice tent while we're out there. I probably will just sleep in a hole, as I've done before.
on the actual like official bit of documents, you see like a little bio of the person you're looking for. Your target is someone named Herman Grouse. He is an ex KGB spy during the Cold War. Mainly, his main work was finding like he seemed his main work was as an analyst, but it seemed his work was, at least from what what your company was able to find when researching him, he was analyzing old stolen Nazi information, old stolen Nazi research, mostly old Nazi intelligence, including like deeply connected with the like couple of projects that Hitler had started to research the occult for furthering his war effort. And you start seeing like little bits and pieces of the rabbit hole that this KGB spook was seeing, including finding some like fairly good circumstantial evidence of vampires like in Europe. It seems that after the KGB was disbanded, well, not disbanded, but after the KGB was publicly closed down, well, no one really knows if they have stopped working or not.
We know
Like
this, they haven't.
like as they publicly closed down, you see that he was fired from his civil servant position within Russia for unknown reasons. And he was last seen, like, you see pictures of him getting off a charter plane in the jungle somewhere, and you see like coordinates at the end of some of these pictures. And just, he was last seen like within Vietnam on a private airstrip, coming out with a fair amount of gear for just one person to be carrying. You see, like, the guy's not like the guy's probably in his like 60s, but he's built like an old soldier. Like, he's not exactly, he doesn't look like he'd be hobbling around.
Real Russian man. Yes,
Yeah.
of course. Now, our objective is to find him or to kill him.
The objective is to find him and, by any means possible, get the information that he has. Because it seems that, like, it's, as the dossier starts saying, like, it seems that he may have been, he was either terminated or left his position in Russia due to the information he has found. And because of his job description, that information can be, as well as just the chatter of other organizations, including the Camarilla and a few, human intelligence agencies, means that whatever this information is, it's either too connected with your guys' world that a human intelligence agency should not get their hands on it, or because it is connected with your world, it's something that the company should have in their hands to figure out if it needs to be destroyed or distributed.
Yes. And then we can kill him. It's probably going to come to that anyways.
Yeah, it's just kind of like the well-being of this target is not specified upon your end. It's like, do whatever you need as long as you get the job done.
That's convenient.
The kind of job I like.
Carte blanche to do what we want.
All right.
Yeah, so just like at the back of the dossier, there's like a satellite image map with like the center of the map being that airstrip that was shown in the photos, and a lot of jungle, a majority of the jungle surrounding that area, a couple of miles out. You see like you have some papers with like GPS coordinates of landmarks within the jungle. And yeah, you also see like when looking at this information, like actually, yeah, no, I think I want from Tom I want to roll for this. Intelligence plus awareness, but you're going to add, I'm going to say 2 dice because of your past.
Okay. I can work with that. Damn, so close. That was a really nice roll, and then it became not one. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes out of, well, you don't really need another number of total, but yeah, 5 successes.
Okay. So,
Jeez.
Juice.
finding like
Did you get a
kind
strike?
of looking at all this information, kind of trying because like your job's to find this guy. So of course the first thing you're thinking about is, where does he go? Where does he leave from? What's kind of the direction he'd leave from on this map? And you're seeing a lot of like just through map coordinates alone, you're able to kind of like start seeing what would have been landmarks for you back when you were here. You start seeing places that used to be, hey, this is where we had to drop Agent Orange to get ready for a fight. This is a village we had to call in a white phosphorus strike because of the insurgents. This area here, this is where there was a tunnel system. This area here, we weren't supposed to go here. This was known enemy territory. Snipers were set up in positions that turned into a kill box. Like, you start just seeing all of these points on the map that you can recognize from this, and you start seeing, and you're able to kind of figure out, if anybody wants to disappear out here, they're going to use what's already been left out here. And the stuff the Vietnam fighters the stuff that those fighters had in this country, like, it's old, but if you can find something that wasn't bombed out or burned down, you can probably utilize it.
Yeah,
Like,
there's plenty of rat tunnels and shit
Yeah.
in the area, probably, if this was part of the war zone.
They dug tunnels, they made caves slightly livable. They made holdouts. Like, it was like it was an extreme guerrilla warfare. It was extreme guerrilla warfare. They had a lot of stuff, and if you can find it, that's one hell of a hideaway.
Hey, some of those rat tunnels led to some pretty homey areas based on what I remember reading and seeing in pictures and shit.
Yeah.
They made the place homey as much as they could.
So most likely you're able to kind of carve out a direction that anyone trying to disappear would go, because it's traveling deeper into both deep jungle and what was at one point in history a war zone.
My playground. All right. What time of the night is it by this point? As like we get to this point.
I think it's probably getting to like 3 a.m. because the flight definitely took a lot of time out.
Okay. I think on the note of that, I think I'm going to try to get some rest because I'm definitely going to have to be active during the day to get supplies. Because I have a feeling stores aren't open at night. Or if they are, they're not going to be open that long, so I would rather get it myself and get everything I need. I guess I would ask the rest of the party what they would need camping-wise. But I guess...
I don't suppose you can... Well, we have a machete, don't we?
we have a katana. Which I guess is essentially a machete, but not
That should be
quite.
good aside from camping supplies.
Okay, yeah, so then Tom's just going to get rest, and then he's going to go out the next morning and find a place.
Okay. So, at least with Ryan, there's not a lot stated. With Ryan, at least, it's just basically like a sleeping bag, a few other small essentials. You like at least talking to Ryan about this, it's pretty obvious why he kind of walks around like a wild man, because when you ask him, it's almost like he's already set up to go out into the woods and just needs like 2 or 3 things.
I just need like a blanket, maybe like a small pillow or something.
Theodore, on the other hand.
Yeah.
I feel like what would end up happening is he would ask for this, and then he would just get everyone the same stuff anyways. Like, it would just be like a tent so they don't get burned, a sleeping bag, maybe like an
Yeah,
extra
it's
pillow
like,
or something, like a pillow or something, and that's
and it's like
it.
when you ask Theodore, he starts just listing off bougie ass like tent and camping gear shit. Like I need a camp stove and an electric lamp and like a 2-person tent. Sure, I'll share it, but I'd rather it all for myself. It's like that kind of shit.
And Tom acts like he's taking notes, and then when it's all said and done, he leaves the paper there, and it's just doodles of like stick figures fighting, like with guns and shit.
All right. And after getting a little bit of gear and stuff like that, like I won't say the night has, I won't say like, yeah, because well, yeah, we can start next night, but I think
I think it's
this
probably a
is
good
where
place
we
to
should
stop.
end. Yeah, because like I said, this session was just supposed to be to finish up what we got cut off, and also to set up for the next
Bridging
mission.
session.
And
And
now you guys,
essentially, the idea for like what Tom would have done is like he would have gone the stuff, like he would have gotten like a full probably 6 or 7 hours of sleep because that's all he would normally get, if that. And then he would go out, do this, and then come back and then just start planning for how we're gonna get to this place, what we're gonna do when we get there, what direction we're going. Like he's planning out everything because that's what he would do.
yeah,
Being a soldier, he's got to make the plan on how he's going to execute this plan or this operation.
Oh yeah. And yeah, that should be where we end this session.
Cool.
Yeah, why don't you, Tyler, why don't you just
Do the outro as...
Yeah, why don't you just do the outro real quick?
All right. If you all enjoyed this session or enjoyed the story, and you want to catch us in, or you want to catch us in other stories that we may be doing, such as the Scale of Fate, the Blackwater, any future ones after that, and you want to catch us live, there's 3 ways to do it. Follow us on Twitch. Hit that notifications button so you get notified exactly when we go live every time. Join the Discord, where it is announced when we go live, as well as the tweets are also put on there for when we are going live, as well as being able to talk to us, other individuals within the community as we grow as a community, and possibly be able to join in possible events in the future as our community grows, if we do grow enough to do those things. And last way is to follow us on Twitter, turn on those notifications on Twitter, and I will try to keep everyone up to date when we are having sessions. Usually the day of. Sometimes we have technical difficulties. Don't always get on there to tell the technical difficulties, but I have been trying to get better. And if you want to catch up on previous episodes for any of our campaigns, we have a beautiful YouTube page that you can find that has all of the playlist for every campaign in order, so you can listen from beginning to current. And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed, and we hope to see you all in the next one. Peace.